Homosassa. And it's through that I've gotten to know her and got very excited to help her with her campaign. So I know you didn't mean for me to start off on that, but I think it's important, and I thank all of you who signed petition cards. I did not know that we could give those out here, but I was told at the door we could. So thanks to all of you who did sign that, just to get her on the ballot. But I'm retired. Do a lot of things in the Homosassa community, and I'm learning a lot more about Citrus County just through this work. So thank you for having me, and hope to see you again.
Well, that's what we're here for. We want to get everybody's background out there. And we have a new member too. Would you like to say a few words? You were a new member. Okay. No? Okay. Well, I'm going to introduce the guest speaker, if he's ready. Okay.
He's always ready.
He's our executive director at the sheriff's office, and he brought a couple of helpers with him today, Alvin. and
Thomas.
So we'll go ahead with the speaker right now.
Thank you. Do I need the microphone?
No.
Everybody hear me?
I think you're good.
I think we're good?
We'll go without it.
Okay. Well, first off, thank you so much for having us. I apologize to Sheriff Vincent could not be here. He had other obligations at the Florida Sheriff's Association, so he's busy up at FSA. But on behalf of the sheriff and the entire staff of the Citrus County Sheriff's Office, thank you for inviting us to speak to you this afternoon. I did bring some guests with me. I'd like to introduce our Chief of Staff, Mr. Calvin Adams, is with us. And our Major of Support Bureau is Thomas Bosco. So again, thank you for having us. Sheriff Vincent was very adamant, when he was running his campaign about community engagement and getting back out in the community and getting a community atmosphere, better partnerships, to say, for such. So he created this Office of Community Engagement and Transparency. And that's what he brought me in. I used to be captain at the Sheriff's Office. I retired back in 2020 after 33 and a half years. I was retired for a couple years, and then I worked in Hernando County for a couple years. I know, glutton for punishment, right? Worked in Hernando County as an emergency management director. Then when Sheriff Vincent got elected, he asked me to come back and be part of his executive team. So this is the new office, the new position that he created. One is for community engagement, get out in the community. So I go to a lot of meetings, a lot of homeowner associations, Kiwanis, community groups, get out in the public, to forge that relationship between the community and the sheriff's office. I have the public information office, so I have community relations staff that does all the community, the public information to the Chronicle and all our media outlets. I also have the strategic plan, and I have our volunteers. Okay, we have about 353 volunteers right now. So if you're interested in doing other stuff and volunteering for the sheriff's office, we're more than happy to welcome you into our volunteer staff. And you can find a volunteer application on our website at sheriffcitrus.org. It's a great organization. You can do Crime Watch. We have 24 different areas that you can volunteer within the sheriff's office. So, more than happy to check it out if you're interested. So back to community engagement. The sheriff, when he ran, the atmosphere between the Board of County Commissioners, the cities, the school district seemed a little disorganized for a period of time. And when he came into office, those partnerships were redeveloped. And we reinstituted, we mended bridges, build bridges, mended gaps. We have a great relationship with the Board of County Commissioners now. Both cities of Inverness and Crystal River. The school district has been a great partnership. Then also with the Chamber of Commerce and a number of non-governmental entities throughout the county. So we go see a lot of these different people. So community engagement was a priority. Also was customer service. Okay, the sheriff ran on customer service, getting you are our customers, right? When you call 911, it's not because you're having a great day, it's because you're having a very bad day, right? We want to reinstitute that customer service of having empathy and compassion and treating you with respect and empathy so you can get the service that you need, okay? Because we understand when you call 911, it's either a car accident, your house been burglarized, or something of that nature, right? And you want a deputy sheriff there to look sharp, be confident that he's going to get the job done. So he re-emphasized that in community, customer relations and community engagement, okay? We'll be nice until it's time not to be nice, right? But there's a certain aspect of decorum that the sheriff's office, the sheriff's deputies need to expound on. And if we don't do it right, we're going to get it right, okay? So he holds people accountable. We can institute retraining or reassignments. We'll do that, okay? But we want to ensure that the customer gets what they deserve, okay? Which is a respectful officer. Speaking of transparency, so the sheriff also wanted to get body cams. That was one of his campaign issues, getting body cams. So when he took office, the priorities of January 6th were no longer. New priorities for January 7th, top priority was body cameras. Okay, so within the existing budget that we inherited when he took office, we were able to find the money within the existing budget, and we were able to implement our body cam program. So the body cams is a little camera that fits on the vest, right? And it's for transparency. We want to give transparency. So we instituted we contracted with Axon body cams, did the training, the implementation. He had a goal of by June 30th or something like that. We were 30 days ahead of schedule, okay, implementing those. And it's been a great resource. Because at the time, we were down deputies, okay? So part of how do you get the deputy, what is the main thing that deputies do, is write reports. So part of the technology that this body cam does, through artificial intelligence, AI, is it'll capture the conversations between the deputy and either the victim or the suspect, okay? And it'll generate a report for the deputy. The deputy will have to go through it, approve it, change things that maybe not captured correctly, and then certify that it's true and correct. So it just went from a maybe hour and a half to write a report to about 10 or 15 minutes to write a report, right? So the efficiency and the processes was huge for the sheriff, and we implemented those body cams. Another thing that he implemented was the sponsorship of deputy sheriffs. So before we had self-pay to go to the police academy, and our applicants were pretty much non-existent, and we had a number of vacancies. So we opened up the sponsorship. We paid for a salary for 15 deputies. We opened it up. We had 86 applicants for 15 spots. Wow. Right? So we're paying them a salary, paying their tuition, so they're part of the sheriff's office while they go to the police academy. Okay? And we just graduated our first 15. They are now in field training right now. And now our next class that we got through our COPS grant, and that was through the Bureau of Justice Administration, the Board of County Commissioners that signed off on it. We just are putting through another 20 through the police academy right now. They started January 12th. So all in all, we're going to be putting out 35 new deputies by the end of this year, okay? Which is huge because the agency has to grow as our community grows. And we want to institute a third district because a lot of most of the growth is in Lecanto area, right? Beverly Hills, Pine Ridge. So we want to put together the vision is put a Central Ridge district up in that area. And we need about 35 deputies to institute that Central Ridge district. And that's exactly what's going to happen, okay? So we're on our way to do wonderful and great things. As soon as these 15 get put out, the next 20, when they graduate, they'll go into field training as well. So it's a wonderful thing. So, what else do we want to talk about? I'm sorry, I have my notes.
I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
How much, now that you're gonna have these 35 people, how much does it cost to outfit them with a gun and all this and a car? What is the cost of that?
So to outfit a new deputy between all new uniforms, vehicles, I think it's
170.
Yeah, 170,000.
There's a ballpark, that's.
Yeah, but that's into everything. That's salary, benefits, that's the vehicle, that's the uniform, that's all the
Vehicle
equipment.
too, okay.
Vehicle, because the vehicle has to get outfitted, striped, lights, sirens, all that stuff. Yeah, and then
It's everything, it's more than you can probably imagine sitting there,
Yeah.
and it's a initial cost, so that's the first, to be able to create a new position with everything that they need to include salary and benefits, but those costs, will be less in the subsequent years, just
Oh,
because
sure.
you don't have to buy everything up front.
Right.
So we just don't want you to misunderstand that a little bit.
What-
yeah, to
what-
start out, the first number up front is a lot, but once they're instituted, that number goes down.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
What do you do with the older cars?
What do we do with the older cars? We'll take out the equipment that we can use, whether it be the sirens or lights, and we'll reinstitute those if they're not damaged, and then we'll send those cars to auction.
Oh,
Yes, send those cars to auction. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I have a question. I live in Beverly Hills. I have a burglar alarm. All right, what would be the response time right now if that alarm went off? And what do you estimate the response time will be once you add the new deputies?
Okay. So estimate right now, the response time should be anywhere between 7 or 8 minutes right now, depending on traffic. A lot of things go into that, okay? But once we institute and get those people where they need to be and dispatched accordingly, probably 5 or 6 minutes,
Okay.
okay? Yeah. So I know response time is a huge thing. And, we have a lot of new, traffic has been an issue. The sheriff instituted, wanted to enforce traffic. We have, from 2024 to 2025, we had a 40% increase for our number of traffic stops. And we had about a 10% increase in the number of citations that we issued in his first year in office, okay? So if you see more deputies pulling people over, they absolutely are. That's what we're doing, okay? Because traffic safety is number one, because the infrastructure just can't keep up, and people keep moving in, and so we're trying to keep pace and slow people down to help prevent accidents.
And we've already seen positive results in those increased number of traffic stops when it comes to public safety and the reduced number of
Yes, sir.
crashes. That the stats are showing that it's beginning to work, but it is a long process.
Yes. You had a question?
Yeah, what is the average salary when we start out?
So the average salary right now is $54,500 for a brand new deputy. Yes. So what we're paying the deputies, what we're paying them is $50,000 right now as they go through the police academy. So we pay them a salary of $50,000. And we also pay their tuition to go to the police academy, which is about $4,000 to go to the police academy. And then when they get released and they graduate from the police academy and they go through their FTOs, which is about another 16 weeks after they graduate, then their salary will be bumped up to 50, what the starting salary is, 54 or 56.
I have heard that, the surrounding communities, started out higher.
Yes.
And that we would train them and then they would leave, so I just wondering how that.
So, yes, that's true, absolutely. And that's something that we're working on. In fact, we're working on that right now. We want to try to get that salary up to be competitive with our surrounding counties. If you go to Tavares, just Tavares Police Department, you get a brand new deputy can start making 70 grand a year. That's hard to compete with, right? So that's hard to compete with. So Marion County just raised their starting salary. Sumter County just raised their starting salary. Hernando County, Pasco County. So yeah, there has been a time in the past where they would get some experience and they would have that experience under the belt, and then boom, we would just be a training ground. We would essentially be a funnel for the other surrounding sheriff's offices. We want to turn that around, but it's going to take some time to do that. And that's when we have to work with the Board of County Commissioners to make that happen, to make it more pleasable or pleasurable. Because not only are we competing against surrounding counties, we're competing against the state of Florida. And we're competing against federal law enforcement agencies. Okay, I see Governor DeSantis just gave the state law enforcement a huge raise and a signing bonus. And the federal agencies, you see the commercials, they're making so much money along with a signing bonus. Right? So that's our competition. but we want to keep people local. That's why we're sponsoring deputies. We want to have invested into them, because you can't just go and quit your job and go to school for 6 months, right? It's not feasible sometimes. So we offer this opportunity for these individuals. They took full advantage of it, and we're gonna, hopefully we're gonna reap the rewards. Yes?
Do we have a, when they sign it to go to the school, do we have a thing that you have to work something?
Yes. Yes, it's a 2-year commitment.
It's in Florida statute.
Yes.
You know, to retain a certification that we pay for. And they have, if they're gonna stay in that occupation, they have to stay there for that period of time or reimburse the cost, but it's in Florida statute.
Yes.
In our community, we obviously have a lot of people that are mental health issues that have to be dealt with, and Alzheimer's, violence, domestic violence, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Now, in your training, do the deputies get any special
Yes.
training?
Yes, they do. There's a block of training that they have to go through. It's a 40-hour block that they learn how to deal with these individuals that have either mental awareness, crisis training, crisis intervention training. I actually, and no, yes, you know, a lot of the homeless is, for one, it's not against the law to be homeless, but a lot of the homeless people do have either drug addiction problems or mental health issues, right? So we work very closely with Mid-Florida Homeless Coalition, and we work with our LifeStream, our partners at LifeStream for mental health. In fact, LifeStream is going to be opening, they're building it right now, it's on 491, a brand new receiving facility. So when we do have to Baker Act somebody, we're not transporting them out of county and taking that deputy out of service for 3 or 4 hours as they transport. They'll just be right here in Lecanto, and the turnaround time for that individual by the time they get diagnosed or being Baker Acted to get to the receiving facility will cut down dramatically to get that officer back in service. Any other questions or concerns? Yes.
Question, I saw something about the Citizens Academy. I don't know if you want to mention that.
Yes, so our Citizens Academy is our Citizens Academy, she asked about our Citizens Academy. So we do offer a Citizens Academy, it's a 10-week program.